What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It is finally time for us to review the new Altis Sigma. Ever since this bike got announced about a month ago, we have been dying to get our hands on one. So me and Reed came out to California and here we are reviewing it. So this bike is a new model, of course. It's not actually been released yet. This is a pre-production prototype. There's 2 of them in the world. So every video you've seen of other YouTubers reviewing this bike is probably this same exact bike or the other black pre-production prototype. So a lot of the stuff you see on here will be different when the real bike comes out. So we're gonna be as fair and honest in this review as we possibly can, and we're not gonna critique it as heavily on a few things because we know they're gonna change and be heavily improved for the actual production bikes that you will get as a customer. If you guys enjoy this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel out. Let's dive into these specs. So the Altis Sigma, it looks like a much bigger bike in pictures, in my opinion, but it's actually a small bike. This is like the same size as a Talaria MX5. We'll put it next to it in a minute. We have a 16-inch rear wheel on the back with a large 9100 16-moto tire, which I think is great. I wish more stock bikes came with that. We have a direct chain drive from this side, which is connected to a gearbox on the other side, very similar to a Talaria Sting. We'll flash some pictures up and they look very, very similar. So I'm actually excited about that, to ditch some belt drives, ditch a jack shaft, and it's gonna be more robust and stronger than those, which is good because right now this pre-production prototype is pushing about 17.5 kilowatts, totally stock. But I've been told the production bike is gonna push between 23 and 25 kilowatts, which is a ton. Honestly, probably too much power, but that's what's so cool about it. This bike is pushing a 96 volt, 35 amp hour battery, which if you compare to other battery models, it's about 3,400 watt hours. So it's similar in size to, if you're comparing it to a 72 volt, it'd be about like a 7246 amp hour, which is larger than an Eride Pro SS, larger than a Talaria Sting MX5, and larger than a lot of the competition. Plus, with it being that higher voltage, it should be more efficient. So we're gonna compare that later when we get a real production. I have to reiterate, we are giving away a brand new Talaria Sting MX5, just like this one. You guys can win. So you guys gotta click the link in the video description, go enter to win the giveaway. There is a bunch of ways to enter, and you might have a brand new MX5 shipped to your doorstep. Moving on to more awesome things about this bike, we do have large moto brakes. We have a big old lever, DOT hose, and large calipers. What we've noticed is these look like the exact same levers as come on the Talaria Sting MX5. They just have a different hose and a different actual lever blade. The calipers also look identical, again with a different hose and slightly different banjo fitting. But we're excited about that because we love the brakes on the MX5, so these should be great as well. If we move on, talking about the rotors and calipers, we have a giant rotor on the front. I don't even know what size that is. It's gotta be a 260, 280. It's huge. I don't know what size, but it's gotta stop well. The rear is large as well. They're 3 mil thick, so very wide. We have a large 428 size chain, so this is bigger than 420 that comes on a lot of the other e-motos, which is great because it's gonna be stronger and it's gonna stretch less. Here we have the cockpit. We have this nice large display here. It's gonna be hard to see in the sun, but you do have your drive modes up here. You got park or drive in the middle. It shows how much current you're pulling. You got your trip, your odometer, you've got your battery percentage. It does have a NFC key that you swipe on the side of the screen to turn it on. You toggle through your drive modes right here. You do have eco, normal, sport, and race, which is great that they have 4 modes with how much power this bike has. Here we have our headlight switch. We've got off, low beam, and then high beam. This light is definitely not anything special. I don't think it's gonna hardly do anything if you're actually night riding. So hopefully we can figure out what kind of plug is in here and we can get some aftermarket options for it. It does have a very different mount on it. So again, we might have to have something adapted specific for this Altis for those of you like us that love to night ride. We move on over to this side. We do have our kill switch. You can pop that on and you'll be in ready. If you pop it off, you'll be in park. Here we have our selector switch and our power button, which is actually to get us into the menu. So if you hold that, you can get into vehicle settings and you can do all kinds of stuff in here. And the really cool things, I'm not gonna go through it because it's kind of complicated to do on camera, but you can actually change your torque from 20%, 40%, 60, 80, and 100. So you can change the way the bike feels with the torque. There's also 4 or 5 different throttle profiles. You can do like something that's really basic and docile all the way up to something that's really aggressive for racing. So you can go in and tweak all of those. So in a lot of ways, this bike has basically an upgraded controller if you're comparing it to other bikes, because you can change a lot of the parameters, and it does have those 4 drive modes, which I think is excellent. Let's quickly go over suspension. In all reality right now, it feels pretty bad. And I think that is because it's a pre-production bike. We hope it's going to be different for the production model, but we don't know for sure. We may go back to the trailer later and switch out a good shock to the rear, because we really want to feel how this moto style linkage feels with a shock that is performing well. This one feels extremely dead, and we did adjust the rebound and the preload. I just think this shock is a very low-end shock just put on here for a pre-production bike. So hopefully they make improvements here. Reed's doing some measuring. This is a Talaria MX5, stock wheels. How tall are we, Reed? 32 and a half inches. Altis. 31 and a half inches. Now, I was told the real production bike, the front end will be higher. There's something different with spacers on this bike, that it is a good chunk lower. So that will change the seat height just a little bit, and also the front end height. But as you guys can see, this bike is not bigger than an MX5. Let's measure the wheelbase. 76 inches. Here we are at the end. 75 inches. Just a hair longer. That is not much difference at all. You can tell our MX5, the front end is higher, and we also have riser bars on it that we upgraded. This front end feels drastically lower when you ride it, but yeah, that's kind of a nice size comparison. Time to get on the Altis and actually ride it. I've only spent about 1 minute on it. Reed actually rode it from where we picked it up over to here, and now I'm getting on it. And Reed is on our upgraded MX5 that you guys saw 2 videos ago. So let's see how we do here. I'm gonna pop it into just sport, start with that. I'm not gonna do race quite yet. And we're gonna go rip, find some hill climbs. Okay, right off the bat, the front end feels extremely low, and the suspension does not feel great. So something to note, I know they said the front end's going to be higher, so I'm not gonna talk about that again. I'm just gonna enjoy it and get used to how the throttle feels, how the controller feels. And also I'm gonna try and remember that they're adding like 6 more kilowatts to this bike on the production one, which is absolutely insane. This bike will be just stupid fast. Jeez, I need to back off so I can see better. Oh, it just cut out on me. Oh, it went into park. I wonder if I hit that on accident. All right, guys, while we were stopped, I played with the settings a little bit. I went down from 100% torque to 80% torque. I'm gonna see how that feels, because it had really a lot for the type of riding like I'm doing now. And I also went from the throttle in the strong position to normal position, or the medium position. So I'm gonna see how that feels. Here we go, pop it in drive. Okay, yeah, we're working again. I wonder if I just bumped the button or just the pre-production bike just glitched a little bit. Okay, yeah, that throttle is a little more docile, definitely less torque. I don't love the handling, but I think that's gonna be vastly improved. Whoa, there's a coyote. Look at that coyote. Can you guys see that? Oh, there he goes up the hill. You guys see that coyote? He was hauling. This bike feels very nice in the throttle. The different curves are great. It's really fun to be able to actually change those. I'm trying to come up with things to say and talk about this bike, because it's it's kind of difficult in a way because this is a pre-production model. I don't know exactly what's gonna change. I know it's gonna have more power, which I don't think it even necessarily needs, but it's awesome that the stock bikes are starting to come with so much power that you'll never need to upgrade your battery or controller or motor. I do hope companies continue to, nope, not going down that. I do hope companies continue to put larger and larger and larger batteries in these bikes, because that is definitely needed. This is a big hill here. Here we go. Hill climb time. I'm gonna see if I can follow him, but I'll be eating dust like crazy. I can't see. There's so many ruts, I can't see a thing. Whoa. It's so loose. Oh my gosh. Oh. I could easily make it up this, I think, if I could see. So let's go do it again. Okay, here we go. Whoa! Whew. Dude, that is so loose. Oh, that's a nasty guy right there. You gonna give it a go? Okay. He's cooking. Yeah. That did not look as bad as I was expecting. That bike rips. It's got all the traction with that tire and all the power.
It's so low.
It's very low. Like it doesn't look low on camera in comparison to how it feels. This throttle is really nice. I'm very impressed with what they've done with the throttle and the controller feel. It doesn't really have like the same sort of wheel lifting torque that I feel like you feel from other bikes. I'm not saying it doesn't have a lot of torque. I'm just saying it's different, and I think maybe part of it's because it's so low slung. I also feel like this bike has absolutely huge potential for the people that want to buy this and throw some supermoto wheels on it and have just a really fast street ripper. This bike is fun though. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. And I think it has big potential. Okay, we're out on our ride. We've drained the battery quite a bit, feeling out this bike, and I'm struggling to figure out what to say about it because there's a lot of things I like. There's some things I don't like in the feeling of the bike. I don't like the way the suspension feels. I think the front end is severely low, but I've been told that's gonna change. So that's where I'm struggling because I don't know what the real production bike is going to feel like. So I'm just being honest in what I feel when I ride, and I think the biggest takeaway is obviously this bike is fast, and that's not what I was worried about. I was more worried about the fit and finish, the brakes, the suspension, how the throttle feels. Was not worried about this bike being fast, because of all the videos I've seen, it definitely is, and we're gonna put it to the test in some drag races in a second. But that just kind of comes to the next point of, you know, I really hope that they do a really good job just fine-tuning the production bike for you as customers. So I'm really anxious to get my hands on that one. Hopefully in a couple of weeks. I'm told 2-3 weeks we should be able to have a production bike and do another video, and then also, you know, put it to the test on our home turf and also do a range test. But so far I am very impressed with the actual throttle feels and curves, the ability to change the torque, the throttle modes. I love that there's 4 drive modes. I think that's kind of a perfect middle ground. I think 3 and 4 is great. I think 2 is not enough. I think 5 or 6 drive modes is too many. I think you just never use them. I love that it comes with a 16-inch rear wheel and a large tire. I don't think this is the tire that it comes with. This is a Dunlop MX34, which is a fantastic tire. We'll see, maybe it does come with it. I just have no clue. The seat, I love that it's a full seat. I hope the real production one has more foam, because this is like extremely soft. You're actually just riding on the frame. But I think, again, that's a pre-production setup. So all in all, the bike feels good. I think it will feel a lot better when it's a production bike. And now it's time to go do some drag races. I'm riding the Altis. Reed is on our totally stock Talaria Sting MX5. That bike is about 13.5 kilowatts. This one is supposed to be 17.5 for the pre-production. That is the fastest small bike out right now, and for a bargain at $4,700. I turned up all my settings again after riding it on the trail. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gone. I'm totally gone. Holy cow. Okay, I just absolutely annihilated him. That wasn't even close.
You were just gone.
I took off way faster than I was expecting, because that thing's fast too. But man, this thing's a rocket. Drag race number 2, we're lining up against our modified and upgraded Talaria MX5. That has an EBMX controller and an EBMX race battery with a stock motor. Okay, those settings are maxed out to see. It's just basically the motor is the limit in that case. And here we have the Altis. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. We got him by a hair. All right. Dang, this bike's fast. Wow. How much do you think that was? Maybe 3 bike lengths by the end? I'm at 82% for reference. That bike should be very, very similar because it's done all the same riding since it was full charged. Okay, here we go, race 2. Reed's recording. Max settings. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm coming by. He's right there. Okay, that was very, very even. I wonder if I had a slight jump on you last time.
My launch, the first one wasn't that good. $1,200 controller on it, $2,000 battery in it. That's just stock.
This bike's stock and this has over $3 grand in upgrades. It's time to bring out a bike that should win. That is our fully modified Sur-Ron Light Bee X with full EBMX powertrain, battery, controller, and motor. And that bike is capable of about, we've actually seen it pull between 26 and 27 kilowatts on the same app that Reed only recorded 17 on the last bike. But that was with Supermoto wheels and geared down gearing. Right now we have 1821 dirt setup with 64 tooth sprocket for off-roading. But that is gonna give this thing a run for its money. So here we go. You in race mode 3, Reed? Okay. He's set to maximum power. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. And there he goes. Holy cow, that thing is quick. Jeez. He's still pulling. I'm gonna bet that was faster than he was expecting. Okay, be honest. Was that faster than you were expecting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't launched this one before.
Yeah, Reed has never launched that on full power, and it's a beast. 5-6 extra kilowatts, I will be right there, which is just stupid for a stock bike. So we have a $2,800 80 volt battery, $1,200 controller, and a $1,300 or $1,400 motor, and that's what gets us that insane performance. But this bike also feels really nice on the throttle, really nice on the motor feeling. You know, they have a different style motor design. They call it a hairpin motor. I really have no clue what that means. It's not a new thing to the world. It's just new to the e-bike world. Man, time for a top speed run. We're only at 36% battery, so this isn't a real perfect indication of how fast it's really gonna go when it's fully charged. But we got our GPS here. Let's start off slow here and we'll hit it on the straight. That's all she got. That's a limit right there. Okay, I haven't looked at the GPS yet. Felt like we really hit a pretty hard limit, whatever it was. Let's see. 68.5. Holy cow. It did not feel like I was going that fast. 68.5. Wow. That's really impressive. At only 37% battery when I started, we're at 34 now. Dang. Okay, I'm excited to see what the production bike will do with 5 or 6 more kilowatts. That is crazy. It'll probably do over 70 miles an hour. Well guys, our time with the Altis Sigma is coming to an end. We're very excited to get a real production version in a couple of weeks. We're really excited to continue to test it, do a range test on it. I like that companies like Altis with this model are starting to change things other than just adding power. So here we have, you know, the better moto brakes. We got the 16-inch rear wheel with the big tire. We have a 428 chain instead of a 420. They also increase the voltage. You know, a lot of the bikes come with 60 volt and 72 volt. This is 96 volt. I think that's a big difference, you know, adding that efficiency. At this point, I'm just very excited to see what the production version of this looks like and actually continue to test it. With that being said though, we are comfortable after riding it and experiencing it to open up pre-orders on our website, tbelectricmoto.com. So you guys are interested, check that link in the video description. And if you haven't entered, get entered to win the giveaway of the brand new Talaria Sting MX5. It might just get shipped to your doorstep. Thanks for watching guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.